Welcome back. You're watching SA Today with me, Unati Pakesha. Well, let's continue here now. The hashtag Rest in Peace at Twitter is making waves on social media as hundreds of Twitter employees resigned from the company on Thursday. Now, the mass resignation came after the new owner of the platform, Elon Musk, asked his staff to decide whether to stay or leave their jobs. Now, Musk demanded that staffers agree to an extremely hardcore work culture, which means working long hours at high intensity or take 3 months severance pay. The deadline was set for 5 p.m. on Thursday. Well, joining us to unpack this is SABC News social media specialist Sthembiso Sithole. Sthembiso, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I don't even know where to start with this story. This guy has been on a tweeting rampage for weeks on end now. Talk to us about this latest, trend that we are seeing now. Rest in peace at Twitter. Let's talk about where it's emanating from, and then we'll start talking about, where to for Twitter now.
Happy Friday, Unatin. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Like you said correctly, when he took over, before he took over, and when officially took over, he said a lot on social media. And of course, to give context, you'll recall that he had sent an email in terms of simply saying certain staff members would be laid off, and that the certain changes that he would like to bring in the company. Of course, he did fire some, and then of course managed to bring some. And of course, the latest that of course led to the current hashtag RIP Twitter taking place. Of course, that is sparked by the email that he has sent, giving staff members some certain options to stay with him or leave. Of course, there are certain things that he said, making reference in terms of hardcore. As we go through some of the tweets, I think one of the key things that he did indicate that he'd like to bring some changes in the organization, and that he really wants to, one of his concerns was that the organization is spending, there's a lot of people when it comes to revenue and all of that, but in his sentiment, in his view, is that, of course, those who deserve to be the company should be there. And the concern now is what will happen to Twitter, of course, that come from the Twitter users themselves.
Yeah, let's look at some of those tweets then. Twitter 2006 to 2022, killed by Elon Musk, Rest in peace, RIP. All right.
Yeah, and then as you can see there, Twitter just alerted employees that they will be, of course, they have to leave the office. Of course, this is until Monday, as some people are simply saying. Of course, others are actually going further to simply saying they're hearing that, of course, access has been blocked. Some have resigned in between. Of course, those who also worked there as engineers simply saying this is just ridiculous, Unati.
And I'm looking at one of this letter that has also been leaked. It says, hi, effective immediately, we are temporarily closing our office buildings and all badge access will be suspended. Offices will reopen on Monday, as you've said, November 21st. Thank you for your flexibility. This letter, also just the casual nature of it when people are essentially losing their jobs. So talk to us now about what are the possibilities, and some people have alluded to this, that Twitter, one, will shut down, and two, what are then the implications for the users and also for brands who have invested in this platform?
Well, at this point in time, what we know, Twitter is active, right? And of course, the building is closing until Monday. But the key thing that we should be looking into, of course, is it going to close? What would it take? And of course, what plans does he have in between? Of course, I don't think it will make any business sense for him to put so much money and the business not taking place. But coming to the point of what does this mean? Should it shut down? We all know that brands, are using social media, particularly Twitter, to promote their platforms. You have influencers, even news organizations are actually using social media to promote their news. And of course, that will have a huge impact should it happen that they shut down. But at this point in time, nothing has been confirmed.
And of course, at the center of the concern are those staff members who have been let go, who are uncertain about what the future holds for them. But what's the sentiment been on social media in terms of what are the people actually saying? Because, you just mentioned now that he spent a lot of money to the tune of 44 billion rand, in fact, when it was earmarked at about 11 billion rand. So he has spent a lot of money. But has there been a backlash? I would imagine there has been, hence the hashtag RIP Twitter.
definitely, of course, social media users are concerned about what's taking place. Others simply saying we're tweeting for the last time, as we'll be seeing some of the tweets on our screen, saying we're tweeting for the last time. How dare does he do this? We're heading to the World Cup. You know, gentlemen, it has been a privilege tweeting with you tonight. Of course, the different time zones are different compared to South Africa. Of course, other tweets simply saying the World Cup is starting this weekend. You know, what's going to happen? Of course, I mean, predicting the future, telling our grandkids how we used to communicate on Twitter there. You know, we used to have a bed app. Sure, grandma, let's go to bed. You know, others, of course, I mean, creating memes out of this. But you can tell here that, I mean, social media users are frustrated, you know, and really they just want to see, they want answers. At the same time, this is the platform that they use. But like I said, it's trending because it's still active and people are there.
Gentlemen, it has been a privilege tweeting with you tonight. And of course, you know, a lot of people are tweeting all of their sentiments, but they've also gone to other platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram and all of that, you know, funny enough. But very quickly, as we wrap up, what is Elon Musk saying after, you know, having sent that letter initially and now this reaction?
Well, I mean, looking at some of the tweets that he has sent this week, he fired some staff members, he welcomed them, as you see on our screen.
Welcomed them back.
He welcomed back. He did admit that I've made a mistake to some extent. And of course, going further, you realize then, of course, he, of course, tries to change the sentiment. But at this point in time, he's, like you said, he's admitting some of his errors. But we know he's unpredictable. The weekend is long. We don't know what will happen. But like I said, he spent a lot of money in coming on board. Will he shut this platform? What does that mean?
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Ste, for all of that information. It will be very interesting to see in all of this who, in the meantime, uses that opportunity to get verified. Very interesting to see. SABC News social media specialist there, Sthembiso Sithole.